If you clicked on this video, I'm guessing the title intrigued you. So, to elaborate, I've created these decks as a mix of Commander with the Game Night product. I've crafted this experience for those of us who get tired of playing games where everyone is sweating with the most tuned decks, or dealing with a slog fest because nobody's deck really has a plan. Sometimes, there's even times when you might feel like you get ahead of the pod too often, which garners their ire. So, to try and avoid that, these decks were specifically made to be played together, like a board game, with plenty of interaction and different ways to accelerate the game, from damage multipliers, draw, and ramp. There's haymakers in every deck, total game changers with elements of chaos and more, providing quick and fun matches for old and new players alike. I kinda made these decks to test out the concept and see if they can work as a real product, or at least something people can try with friends. The decks in their current state do what I intend them to do, but probably could be improved with new card designs for the commanders and the cards within the decks. To further the board game experience, I encourage to play these with Planechase for some extra chaos. For those who don't know how to play Planechase, I'll put a link on the description. But to explain without getting into more detail, it's a separate deck that adds static effects to the game, such as a goat plane, with the potential for chaos to ensue, or experiencing phenomenons beyond the mind's comprehension! Okay, maybe I stretched the truth with that last part a little bit. So now that I've explained that, let me get into the decks and their themes. First, we got party deck number 1, which is a group hug deck. And funny enough, I was in the works of making these decks way before Bloomborough, but with these new Bloomborough cards, I just had to make some tweaks. The Group Hug deck has a sub-theme of token generation, made in such a way to outvalue and flood your opponents. Next is party deck number 2, which is the Chaos deck, with a transmog theme turning your little guys into beaters, or perhaps more value. Throw in some damage acceleration, and you and your opponents won't know what's coming next.
Then we got party deck number 3, which is a voting/politics deck. Simple as that. So if you want to bribe or police the board, this is the deck for you.
And the last deck, party deck number 4, is a symmetrical mastery animation deck with a snake typo sub-theme. This deck can topsy-turvy the outcome of any game. With the wheels and discard, this deck should have them yards full. So again, I would like to say these are test decks. The cards can be changed up at any time. I recommend you proxy them to try them out if you can't afford it. And if you do try it out with a pod or friends, please leave a comment with your experience. Or, even if you want to leave suggestions on what cards to replace, as long as they keep the spirit of the concept alive, without it being simply just to optimize the deck for play outside of the other decks. Again, please leave a comment. I will appreciate it. I've even fiddled with the idea of a sideboard for each deck, meant to swap out the haymakers to provide a different experience every game. But we could save that for another time. If this were to be made into a real product like a game night thing, it should be the complete package with sleeves to protect your cards. Besides new card designs for the decks and Planechase cards. And, maybe a little digital 4-player life counter. Just maybe. Anyways, I hope anyone who tries them has fun. The deck list will be in the description. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching. And please leave a like. And of course, share this with your friends. I'll be watching. If this is popular enough, I'll see about working on another set of party decks. And again, thanks.